Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Anushka Chatterjee, and in today's video I'm gonna be deep diving into The Cruel Prince. The book, The Cruel Prince. I also have The Wicked King over here and The Queen of Nothing actually. Don't mind the sizes, I got them from different places. But the Folk of the Year trilogy is one of the best trilogies, one of the best books I've ever read, and I think everyone should read it once in a lifetime because I know what bad books are like. I have read my share of bad books. I'm not going to mention the authors, but I think we all know the name of that author. But anyways, this book is like one of the best books out there, like I said before. Okay, so today I'll just be talking about this book only. These books are gonna be talked about in another video maybe. um, Again, do not mind the quality of the books because I got them from Daryaganj, which is like a second-hand thrift book market in Delhi where I live. So let's just get started. Okay, no ranting. Anyways, before we do get started, before we dive into this, let's just subscribe and like the video, subscribe the channel and like the video. Okay, and share this with people who love The Cruel Prince. And if you do not like The Cruel Prince, I'm sorry sir, please get a life. Thank you. Okay, let's get started.
1 hour later.
Okay, so in my previous video where I did say that you should have 3 fantasy must reads, I also included The Cruel Prince, and I ranted about it a lot. Like, The Cruel Prince was the only book which went on for about 8 to 9 minutes. I noticed that while editing. Anyways, I think it's worth ranting about, and this entire video is gonna be a rant. Okay, ranting about Cruel Prince, talking about the entire trilogy. And as I said before, if you haven't read it, maybe you go read it first, because this is gonna have a lot of spoilers. Okay, and this book is not like a waste of time. This book should be read by everyone once in their life. It's YA, it doesn't have any much smut, and it has a lot of politics. Okay, so let's get started. We have our emotional support candles there. We have our snake plant. Anyways, let's start with the first book. Before anyone comments about the condition of my book, I got it second hand from Daryaganj, which is a book market in Delhi, and I'm also making a trip again this Sunday, so I'm gonna shoot a vlog about it. Please see, and I'm gonna review all of the books I got. Anyways, let's start with The Cruel Prince first. So The Cruel Prince is mainly a fantasy novel, but the romance doesn't really hit on because it's enemies to lovers, but it's mostly politics, starting, humiliation, and a lot about issues. The main character in here, because this is just from one point of view of the main character, her name is Jude Duarte. She has a lot of issues. Okay, the chapter starts. First of all, I would like to say, oh my goodness, what an amazing map. Okay, like this map is everything. I love fantasy books where they have like a detailed map of everything, and I actually understand most of it. Although, I mean, okay. So the book one is firstly book one is started with a poem first. I'm not gonna read that poem, it's gonna take a lot of time. Okay, book one starts after the poem. It's a prologue in which our main character Jude Duarte, she is 7 years old. Okay, and she's playing in a yard with her parents, and her twin sister and her older sister, when a man suddenly comes up to their house and murders her parent out of the blue. Like, there is no context, no nothing. She's just a child, and the man is like, I'm gonna murder your parents, I'm gonna strip your entire life away. And to think that our main character, that our protagonist, is a human. Okay, so she has no idea what is happening, she has no idea what Faye is. Both her parents are human, her twin sister is also human. Okay, so like, the main thing I like about Holly Black is that she has a really clever mind. She has plot twist. She will like to keep you on your toes with her books. Okay, like The Cruel Prince also went into one another duology of a side character in that, the Stolen Heir and the Prisoner's Thorn, and I was up all night reading that. But we will not talk about that. We're gonna talk about this. The first chapter is just one line, which I am going to read. In Fairy, there are no fish sticks, no ketchup, and no television, because the man who murdered Jude's parents kidnapped her, her twin sister, and her older sister, and took them to his house in Fairy. That is called being a responsible parent. Be aware of your actions. Okay, take accountability. That man took accountability and he took them home. Anyways, the man's name is Maddox, and the thing about this is that Jude's mother was first married to Maddox in the Fey land, and Jude's mother is human, but Maddox, the man who killed her parents, okay, the man who killed Jude's mother and father, was a general in the army. It still is the general in the army throughout the book. And he married her mother, and her mother was actually pregnant with her oldest sister, but her mother escaped with Jude's father, who is also a human in the Fae, and Jude's father used to carve swords and all that, and they just escaped, and they raised her older sister Vivian, her name is Vivian, as a human. So Maddox was furious because his wife ran away with a swordsman, a blacksmith, and then she took his daughter. Of course he'd be angry, but it doesn't mean you're gonna murder your ex-wife and her husband. That's just, although he has a thing for bloodlust because he was born during the war, and also he's a red cap in, because whenever he murders someone, he's gonna dip his cap in the blood, and the captain's red and all that. Take a deep breath. Anyways, he takes them all home, and their family tree is very messed up, for which I'm gonna need a whiteboard. I do have a whiteboard actually, so just hold on while I bring that whiteboard, okay? So this is my whiteboard. I don't know if you can see this or not see this. I hope you can. Anyways, this is Jude's mother, okay? She was first married to Maddox, and then she was pregnant, but she ran away. But she did have Maddox's daughter, whose name is, oh my god, whose name is Vivian, okay? Vivian, they just call her Vivi. And then Jude's mother ran away with Jude's father, and then they had twins, Jude and Taryn. Now Maddox came in, murdered Jude's mother, murdered Jude's father, okay, because they're helpless humans, and he's a red cap. He's a general in the army for the king. He has much more skills. Kidnapped Vivian, kidnapped Jude and Taryn, and then took them home, where he already had a second wife named Oriana. Okay, he has a second wife, Oriana. She's a fae. She's a fairy. Okay, she hates human. She hates Jude. She does have a good relationship with Taryn, but that doesn't really show because the book is mainly from Jude's perspective. And now Maddox and Oriana, they both have a baby named Oak. Now, do tell me if you get it, okay? Because I almost forgot what the fuck it is after watching writing this thing. Oh my goodness. But anyways, the family tree is very very disturbing. I think it's very confusing, but as you read through the books, you're gonna get it properly. Anyways, let's get back to the book. Now Maddox, he doesn't really care that Jude and Taryn are humans, okay? Since he's a general, he's teaching them all about sword fighting, about defending oneself, and Taryn is actually good at sword fighting more than Jude, but Taryn doesn't really like sword fighting, so she gives up, and now she doesn't really have much practice. But Jude, however, Jude is that girl, okay? Jude Duarte, she is a queen. I do not care what you have to say about her. I love Jude, okay? She is the most problematic character, yet you will still be on her side when you know about her back history. Like, she didn't do anything even wrong. It's all about her past circumstances piling upon her, and the way she does things, the way she plans things, the way she hides things. I mean, that woman, that girl had a body hidden under her bed, and no one noticed. No one actually noticed. So Maddox sends Jude and Darren to a normal school where most of the royals and the nobles go. And that is where our story starts, because our second male protagonist, who we not really know anything about except that he has a tail. I mean, I am sorry, sir, what? And he hates Jude. He hates humans. Thing is, excuse me for a second. He hates humans, okay? He is the sixth and the last son of the king, the last child of the king, and he's not really loved properly. Like, the king doesn't like him. There's actually a backstory as to why they don't like him, and it's just really misunderstood, but it's in How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. That's a different book. That's a novella written by Holly Black, and I think you should really read it after reading these novels. Anyways, he is actually hated by everyone, mostly in the castle. Like, his mother, we have no idea where his mother is. We will know in The Wicked King, although, where his mother actually is. But right now he has no mother. His father doesn't really give him any attention, so he's just really abandoned, and he lives with his older brother Dane, okay, or Belking. I have no idea who. He lives with one of his older brothers. Thing is, Belkin is the oldest son, but the king does not want to crown Belkin because Belkin is not a good guy. The king wants to crown Dane, but there is going to be a war after that, a simple war where the entire family dies while everyone watches during the coronation. But that is a different story. Now back to where I was talking about, the school in which her and Taryn goes, like Jude and Taryn go. The school has four mostly royal kids, okay, that I also explained in this last video, but I'm gonna explain in this video too. It has royal kids, okay, it has like kids of nobles and all that. And there is a famous, the most popular group of four, that is Cardan, our the male protagonist, the lover who is an enemy first. Then there's Nicasia, who is the daughter of the queen of the undersea, so she's also a royal, but she's sent to the human lands to study. And her and Cardan have a thing going on, because popular groups always have a couple that's gonna ruin it all. Then there's Locke. Locke is actually a son of a very rich noble, but both his parents are dead. And there is a lot of backstory on Locke's parents too, which will later be revealed in this book. And then there's Valerian. Valerian isn't really provided with much context, except that he bullies Jude, and then Jude actually kills him and then hides him under the bed, then buries him in the stable, and no one knows where that man's body is, okay? She was 17 when she did all that. Imagine the level of hate she must have had in herself, that she had to actually kill someone. Anyways, we stand that girl. I support women's rights and wrongs, feminism forever. So this book mostly goes like this, that Cardan actually bullies her a lot, and I was really doubtful that how is he going to turn out to be a lover to her. By like, this is truly actually an enemies to lovers. And Holly Black is such a genius. Every action of Cardan has an explanation throughout the book if you look properly enough. Because the brother Cardan lives with used to beat Cardan, okay? Like, Cardan was beaten every day, and like, he also had to beat servants, human servants who were under the glamour. Like, glamour, you'll read it once you'll know once you read the book, but I'm not gonna provide all of the context. Then what's the problem, okay? So like, Cardan, so the only love language Cardan knows is bullying someone, is torturing someone, okay? That man is a gentleman in his own way, because he drowns Jude, tries to drown Jude, kicks dirt in her food, bullies her endlessly. But in the end, when Dane, the man, the king's son, who is about to be recruited, who is about to be not recruited, who is about to be crowned the next king, when the current king just goes away, because they don't die, they just accept their fate and they're like, I am done with life, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much. Because fairies are immortal, but like that king is like, no, I'm done with life, I'm gonna go. Okay, thank you. Anyways, so when Dane is about to be crowned, a few weeks or months before that, he comes to Jude and he's like, I want you as my spy. I will give you an aid maybe and a vaccine type of thing which will prevent you from getting glamored, from getting controlled by fair people. So she's like, yeah, but she has to stab her own hand, okay, before being recruited. And she does do that because she's so fed up by being pushed around for being human. She actually gets recruited by a group of spies, and she then gets a nickname. There are like some spies, the Roach, the Bomb, and the Ghost. The Ghost actually turns out to be a big traitor in the next book. But did I just give you the spoiler for the next book before I was even done with this book? Now, there won't be a fantasy book without some romance now, would they? And the romance is that she is not going along with Cardan, okay? She kisses Locke. She actually kisses Locke, and like she believes when Locke, Locke, okay, Locke gives her all, like tells her all of the sweet nothings and everything, like he loves her and all that. So she actually believes that. Anyways, when so he takes her to his house where they'll be holding a party, and he kisses her endlessly. He tells her sweet nothings, and meanwhile Taryn also has a secret boyfriend that she refuses to tell Jude about. So Jude is very curious, and in the end it turns out that Locke was just testing Taryn's loyalties by fooling Jude around, and Taryn was okay with that. Okay, so she was betrayed by Locke. She was just a plaything. She was just a pawn for Locke's schemes. Okay, and she does not take that well. She actually tells Taryn that she wants to have a sword fight, and they do have a sword fight. In the end, no one wins because their swords are supposed to, like Vivi glamours Taryn, and Jude has to stop. But this is the betrayal of her lifetime she's getting. Now, when Dane is being crowned, that does not mean there is no controversy going on. The villain Maddox, like there are so many villains in this, but Maddox, the man who killed her parents, Maddox actually is working for Belkin because Maddox wants power and Belkin promised him power. Okay, so when there is a proper coronation, the entire fucking family gets killed. Everyone except Cardan gets killed, and Cardan is like drunk. When Jude is hiding under the table, Cardan just seeks Jude out and he's like, Jude, Jude, Jude. And she actually captures him down. She's like, okay, if you are so obsessed with me, let me just capture you. And she captures him. And then, like, when the entire family, the entire Greenbrier family is dead, she recruits that group of spies that Dane had and tells them to guard Cardan while she goes about doing things. Okay, now she tells Maddox that she has Cardan because only a blood person can put the Greenbrier crown on another blood person. That is where the plot twist comes. So do we all remember Oak, son of Maddox and Oriana? Maddox and Oriana are not his parents. They are not his parents. Oak is actually Dane's child. So there was a prophecy that if Dane ever fathered a child, that child will be the end of his power. So Dane actually slept with his fathers, the current king's lovers, and got her pregnant. Okay, and then he realized, oh, I'm gonna have a child. So he poisoned her down. And do you know who poisoned her? The Ghost, Dane's spy. The Ghost poisoned her. But thing is, Oriana was also one of the king's lovers, and Oriana and Lily no, not Lily, I don't remember the name. Oriana and Oak's mother actually were good friends. So Oriana took Oak from the Oak's mother. She cut out like Oak and brought her out while Oak's mother was dying. Oak's mother was dying, and she raised Oak as her own. So that means that Oak is also the blood of Greenbrier line. That Oak is the half, I don't know, half, like Oak is the nephew of Cardan. And the thing is, Oak's mother is also Locke's mother. So Oak and Locke are also related. That is why I was telling you that this family tree is so fucked up that your head is gonna spin when you read about that. So the plot twist is that Maddox wants Oak in power, so that, because Oak is just a small child, he's just 8. Well, Jude is 17, Oak is 8. So Maddox wants Oak on the throne so he can control the entire Elfhame via Oak, because Maddox only wants power. He loves his children, but he loves power more. And Jude goes to tell Maddox that she has Cardan, so that Cardan can put the crown on Oak. Okay. Thing is, she then offered Maddox 2 glasses of wine. And when they were sword fighting, Maddox was like, "Oh, I'm dizzy. Did you poison the glass?" And she's like, "Yes, I poisoned the glass." And then Maddox was like, "How did you know which I was gonna drink?" And Jude is like, "I didn't know. I poisoned them both. Because our queen, our main protagonist, is also immune to poison, because she's been taking small drips of poison every day to be immune to poison." How slay, how badass is that, ma'am? Oh my god, I love Holly Black for creating this character, because this character is my Roman Empire. And then she makes Oak sit, like put the crown on Cardan's head while also betraying Cardan, because she promised Cardan that she wouldn't make him the king. She betrays Cardan. And now Cardan is the king, okay, which is like really shocking, because when you read the book, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, what is happening?" And most of the time I didn't understand what is happening, but I kept reading on, because I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is so interesting." And thing is, when Jude holds Cardan capture, there is like a whole extract that the Cardan says, "Have I told you how hideous you look tonight? Fairies cannot lie," main point. And Jude is like, "No, tell me." Cardan's like, "I cannot," because he can't lie, so he can't tell her how hideous he looks, which means he finds her beautiful. And then suddenly, while holding a dagger to his neck, she goes on and kisses him hard. Okay, how sexy is that? I want to hold a dagger against someone's neck and kiss them, which is never gonna happen, because I mean, the cops are gonna arrest me, and people are actually sane in this world mostly, and they don't have kinks like fantasy girlies do. But still, I mean, how amazing would that be, holding holding a literal knife against someone's head and like someone's throat and kissing them. Anyways, there goes the wrap of our first book. That this was a 15-minute wrap. Thank you very much.